users who couldn't attend. Yeah, so that's how we do. So welcome to this session once again, one and all. Today's topic of understanding Google App Sheet basically is using a point of self-paced learning. See, most of the time we get into the situation of learning new things, and we start learning things at our own pace. And yeah, I'll just try to increase the volume. And 1 second. Is it better now?
A little bit more, sir.
No? Is it better?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay, sure. Great. Yeah, so the focus of this workshop is help you to connect with two essentials. One is how do we plan something about self-paced learning? How do we make ourselves learn things, wonderful things of the world in a self-paced mode, as well as try to convert this into a discipline which becomes like a tutor. And you can do this by creating a wonderful app or wonderful tool, you could say, that which we will experience how we'll be able to do it using Google App Sheet. So let's get into it. Before we start, let's see the agenda today. So the agenda is very focused on 5 points. One is about introduction, about what we do at SolveWorks. Second, we will try to introduce to the terminology and the language of Google App Sheet, the NoCode platform that we will be discussing. Then we will try to focus on the concept of self-paced learning, how self-paced learning has to be done, what are the advantages when we go with that. And then finally, we'll try to get into a live demo where we spend more time in helping people understand how they get on board and how they can build beautiful apps or whatever the tools using Google NoCode platform. And finally, we have the Q and answer session where we'll try to explain and answer all the questions, whatever you have from the entire presentation or the workshop can be done in the best creative possible manner. And all those people are citizen developers, and we are just giving them the power to convert their creative or innovation into beautiful apps that can do more meaningful jobs, right? So this is what typically we help at SolveWorks. And we do a lot of initiatives in this process of enabling citizen developers, right? Uh, the first of the initiative is called Amplenet, where we have a community of no-code developers. Because no-code development happens in various walks of life, and we find very interesting developers coming from various age groups, various industry segments, various domains and all. So we try to bring all that expertise into one place, which is called as Amplenet, which is a platform for all no-code developers. So what typically they do, no-code developers join this platform and they start contributing to the real-time problems, where we will be helping them with some kind of focused activity, could be a kind of a proof of concept, or could be a project, or could be some kind of activity that we want to organize, and we would like to get the help. Essentially, it's more like a overall development for developers, and they can actually think of going to the next level, right? So this is what typically happens with Amplenet, right? And then we also conduct the initiatives in a big way, where we conduct something like online hackathons. Last year, we have conducted this online hackathon for no-code developers, and it was a very highly sponsored event, and we got the winners as well. The overall competition was done for 8 hours continuously on the day. And the way it started is we kickstart the participation, and then the participation happens, and we will give the challenge online, and the participants are supposed to build the apps online. And once the apps are available, then we will be able to share those apps for review, and then the winners will be announced. So this is a very generic competition. Anyone can participate. And we had interesting participants last Ampleton, which we did. We had participants from various countries, including people from UK, people from US, people from various other neighboring countries, even Singapore. They have joined and they have taken participation in the competition. So this is the overall initiative that we do. And a lot of things have come also from this learnings of Ampleton, where we have brought in a lot of insights on how students can also collaborate, facilitate, and take great learnings back to their academics or back to their college for finishing their studies. So these are being wonderful stories, success stories from Ampleton, last Ampleton, finishing their studies. So these are being wonderful stories, success stories from Ampleton, last Ampleton. And we are planning to have another event by this August 2021. So we will just say keep tuned. We will keep you announcing the dates and you can take the participation. Anyone can participate in this. There is no kind of classification or categorization for that. Now moving on. Now, what is this exclusive no-code workshop? We are doing this exclusive no-code workshop basically to bring in insights to the developers and or anyone who wants to be a citizen developer. Let's say I have a brilliant idea, but I don't know how to execute it, right? Or I have some brilliant thought, or I see there is some problem which I can solve by using technology. So all those things can actually be done effectively by citizen developers. And that is where we bring this exclusive workshops to help the citizen developers understand how certain things can be done. And these no-code workshops are like 120-minute exclusive workshops where we are trying to bring a lot of solved cases or we solve it live with the demos and show people or show citizen developers that it is possible. And in today's demo or in today's workshop, we will be trying to build something called as a knowledge app, which everyone can build in the process of doing self-paced learning. Because there are certain things that we also do in self-paced learning, and we tend to refer to what we have learned because we know the effort that we have gone into in learning certain things using self-paced approach. So that's going to be a great support for people who are following self-paced learning, and that's what we try to bring something called as a knowledge app today as part of the demo. And the good news is we have so many other events that are lined up. As I said earlier, every month we do 2 workshops, which are called typically the Ample Days, where we work on the second half or second weekend and the fourth weekend, or first weekend and the third weekend, accordingly depending on the month. But the schedules are out, and we will try to publish the schedules much in advance so that all the citizen developers can plan their calendar and join these things. And coming up events are on 27th of June. We have the new normal, which is anytime, anywhere, any device. So this is a new concept I would like to highlight on how citizen developers can maximize on this. Similarly, on 11th July, we are focusing on the post-COVID situation, how we have to empower our team and how no-code or these kind of workshops can help you get on that. That is mainly focused on rewards and recognition, how you can keep not only your employees, it could be your vendors, it could be your customers, a lot of ways rewards and recognition can happen, right? And how you can make this a post-COVID reality is what we'll be focusing on. And on 25th July, we have more interesting topic, which is about simple things that we can bring in the process of automation, and we can make things work in robust manner. And that can help save a lot of time and money for everyone throughout the organization. So this is a very focused session on how do you bring process automation into your organization. And as I said, 2021 is a month of Ampleton, and we will be conducting various levels of sessions on going back to the big event of the hackathon, where people participate and take the journey of that. And on 12th September, we have a very focused session on how do we bring productivity. And this is with respect to everyone, how everyone can take the next level approach on building smart apps and how they can be very effective in offering this productive apps to everyone in their organization. Moving on. This is the time where we would like to introduce you to Google App Sheet. And what we will be doing now is we'll be running through a couple of slides that will help you get connected to the language and the items that we'll be using towards Google App Sheet. Because we just think that is a very basic information that everyone should know before they get onto the platform and know at least some basics of what you can do and what is allowed. So that's the reason we bring up the concept of sharing through a presentation, and then we'll take you to the live demo, right? Uh, Before we proceed, any questions so far? Let me also check. Okay, good. Let me proceed further.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Do we need to have any technical skills or technical knowledge to do any creating an applications or anything as such?
No, that's not at all required. See, that is exactly the concept of a citizen developer, right? A citizen developer is a person who is not by virtue of trade a techie guy, right? It could be a manager, it could be a kind of functional analyst, it could be a data analyst, it could be a business guy, it could be a business owner, it could be a startup founder, it could be anyone who just have an idea, right? Now, when you have an idea, the best way to make the idea is to build something and show to everyone how this works. And this is where the no-code platforms like Google App Sheet comes into picture, where you can just know how this platform works and use all the techniques of this platform to build your idea in a way that can be demonstrated to people, or that can, based on which you can give a demo and take an active feedback, right? So you don't need any technology background, nor you need to understand things about technology. We'll show you how it can be done. It all starts with very basic things, what you can look at the idea, right? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So AppSheet is typically a no-code development platform, which allows you to create hybrid apps or wonderful apps for either for a mobile use or a tablet use or a web application use, or in a whole for all of that, right? So any device can still go good with a no-code platform. And Google App Sheet supports various data sources like Google Drive, Dropbox, Office 365, and any cloud-based spreadsheet and the database platform, which you are aware. Just for your understanding, how this entire thing works. This entire thing works in three simple steps. Whatever you have your idea, you can actually work with, it all starts with data capture. And the basic data capture happens in an Excel sheet, right, to start with. So what you can do is you can port this Excel sheet to your Google storage. And once you have this Google storage or any kind of cloud storage, let's say in this case it is Google Drive. So when you have your Excel sheet or a Google sheet created on a Google Drive, that becomes your core data collection point, right? And with this core data collection point, you can start building your app. It's just simple, very simple. You just select this data sheet in your editor, which is the app sheet editor. The platform will access your Google Drive, get the data into app sheet editor, and you just do some little things around. I will show you how the flow is. And once you're done, the app is ready then and there itself. So it doesn't take like the typical process. In a typical process, you have a schedule, right? You build the apps, you test the apps, you give it for some kind of user testing, then you kind of launch and all. But in this case, it is more like you just build an app. At the same time, you can see the app. So it is as simple as that. And for you to give access to anyone, what you can do is you can just pick up the link of the app and share the app link on a WhatsApp, on an email, on an SMS text, and it is that simple. So giving access to your apps is also made very easy. So But these are the 3 simple steps. So you just have to define your data in a Google Sheet, upload to Google Drive, and then you log into your app sheet editor and you try to select this data from your Google Drive, and done. Your app is ready. That's it. You don't need to do anything. And that's exactly we'll try to demonstrate, and we'll try to help you how this can work, right? Now, these are the various data sources it supports, and there are many other technical sources that you can have, or any kind of data sources you can add. And you can also integrate with a lot of other things using various other advanced techniques. So there is no limitation to this. It's all your imagination. It's all your business scenario and how well you understand your business problem. So well you can define your solution with AppSheet, right? And similarly, AppSheet gives a wonderful perspective for a lot of first-time developers. Like, let's say you are getting on the AppSheet for the first time, so you're really not sure how this Excel thing works, or this Google Sheet thing works, how it actually how to design, how to share a link, and all. So you have some challenges. So just to overcome these challenges, what AppSheet does is AppSheet gives you a wide variety of sample apps. So if any one of your sample app is the line of your choice, and you're getting connected to that, you can just click on that app, and the app is already built for you, and you can start using it. So it is that simple, right? So it doesn't take much. People who are not talking, they can mute. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, let's continue. So this sample apps are really a kind of a game changer for anyone who wants to build their own kind of technology apps, right? So I just have idea, I just want some technology solution. Go to AppSheet, use any of the sample app if it's listed there, and you're done. You don't need to really code anything. I'll show you that. It's very simple. And then you also have very good support from the platform, where you can reach out to communities, you can reach out to a lot of experts on this platform, and now it is part of Google. So you even get a better support from the entire Google community on various issues related to integrations and a lot of things. So the support is phenomenal, and you don't need to worry, and you're never left out in your transformation of your idea into any kind of app or anything, right? So it's wonderful for you guys to just take it and move forward, and that is beautiful support the citizen developers get from this platform. Now, how do we do it? It's very simple steps. You just register your Gmail or any kind of cloud hosted account. The second is you have to register with that account, and then it will directly take it to the editor, which says your apps. We'll see this in the demo anyhow. And also, what are the steps to create an app? It's very simple. Once you are in the editor, define what is the kind of app. And this is exactly the step 2, what I was saying. So it will prompt you with either existing sources to verify, or you want to start with your own ideas or questions and all, or you want to use any sample app. So any of the cases, you are done with your job that you are looking for. And it just automatically builds all the app and gives the interface, and the link is ready in a minute's time, and you can start sharing the same app as it is to your friends, and you can start using it, right? So it is just simple as that. Now, certain things I would like to share before we go in details of it. AppSheet also is a kind of interface. So it has its own kind of elements that you need to understand. There are basically 2 elements. One is called a data model. Second is called a view model, meaning what is the data you want to capture is the data model, and how you want to show the data is the view model, right? So either you do a data model and then you do the view, right? So we'll just share few more details of these 2 basic elements. And this is how typically anyone with a general thought or an idea typically looks at. For example, I want to build a simple payroll application, right? So for a simple payroll application, My data always revolve around who is the employee, what are the details, and what are the taxes that I have to pay, and how it has to be collected, and when is the salary date, and all this little data that I require, right? And now how I show the data is in different forms. If it is for the income tax guys, I might show a form 16, right? If it is for employees, I might show more as a payslip. If it is for anyone else, I might actually show it as a kind of an offer letter or some kind of a descriptive kind of a letter, right? Maybe for the bankers, if I want to look at someone. So these are various views of looking at the same data. In the same way, if you apply the same model or same logic here in AppSheet also, you define your data, that is the core thing, and then you get chance to change the way you can view the data. So that is called the UX view or user experience view. So first is the data model view, where you define the elements of how you want to capture data. And second part is the user experience view, where you define various kinds of user experiences. Let me share what are the possibilities here. Okay, so the first element is called a table. It's like just any kind of data you would like to collect. In this example, it's like the first name, last name, and phone number. I've just taken it's a very simple. So this sounds to be a table. Now, when you want to selectively pick up some data, not showing the entire thing, that's where it becomes as a slice. It's called a slice, right? That is the second element. So in the table, if I say, if I have first name, last name, birthday, name, address, and phone number, I want to only share the first name and phone number. So I can just extract those two things into a column, and I can, or in a selection, I can make it as a slice, right? So this is where I can also play with the kind of data that I have captured. So not only the complete data, I can also restrict my users by viewing any kind of different data, right? That's all helps me in saving and protecting my data, right? Then AppSheet supports various kinds of column types. It's around 35 to 40 different types of column types it already supports, meaning you want to capture a phone number, you want to capture a date, you want to capture an email. You just give the name, and it has that intelligence to detect what kind of data type you'll be keying in. So you don't need to actually do any coding, right? It automatically does it. We'll show this when we come to the demo, right? So like that, there are multiple column types, and it helps a lot to speed up the process of building things, right? Next, this is the second one, which is a user experience view or a user experience model, where you try to define how your users of this app would like to see the data, right? End of the day, you will be giving this access to your employees, your friends, your vendors, your partners, all the people whom you want to try out, right? So in the process, you will understand how these things work and how you can take it to the next level, right? And these are the different kinds of views that you can have in AppSheet, Google AppSheet, right? One is called a detail view, where you can bring up the insights of the data you have captured, and you can bring up in a very different manner. There are certain formats that you can try, and you can help it out. Similarly, other way of showing is a gallery view, where you can capture a lot of pictures. If you have a lot of picture-based data, typically, let's say you want to build an employee directory, then definitely you need to have pictures of the employees. Then this view will actually help you a lot in understanding the details of it. Similarly, a card view, more detailed view of promoting your information and try to give some activity to it. And then this is another advantage you get with Google App Sheet. Whatever the address you save, it has the capability to understand the lat long or the coordinates that are typically used in a map. And it can present all the data in a map view. And it does automatically by calling all the internal map functions. So we don't need to worry. And the platform itself takes care of all these wonderful things. Similarly, you can bring a little more enhancement, like the highlighting part, or the kind of buttons, the kind of connected scenarios for your users. and you can make it much better. And this is where the formatting comes into play, right? And finally, you have a chance to write your own expressions, like just like the way you do in Excel sheet, you can write your own formulas, and you can make it much focused and much effective on the way things can work for you, right? So this is